These guys are not machines, guys. They're not computers. They have bad games. You move on.
These guys are not machines, I can guarantee you that, or we would have all picked Kentucky losing to Indiana. Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. That's just one of the many topics we'll be discussing in this version of our big show. And say hello to the guy who's just back from Bloomington, Darrell Bird of the Cat's Paws.
That was my take on Louisville. The really bad thing about UK losing, of course they lose their #1 ranking. It's not that big of a deal this early in the year, but the possibility that Louisville is going to be the #2 rated team in the country, are you kidding me? I hope they actually, for UK fans' sake, I hope they stay at #2 until that game on December 31st. That'll be fun.
Now for Howie's take on life on Planet Blue, he's got a photograph he wants to share with us that Darrell actually took at the Indiana game. This is too good.
Wild crowd at Indiana. Darrell's taking pictures of the crowd. Separated at birth, question mark? You know, it's funny. The funniest comment that I heard from an Indiana person, they changed unibrow to unifoul. I like that.
And the funniest thing is the joke's on Indiana, because Davis's own family is having fun with it. They have their own T-shirts that says "Bow to DeBrow," so they're having fun with it. But it's great crowd, great student section.
Hey, a lot to cover, so let's wait no longer. Go to the lightning round. The lightning round brought to you by Kentucky Corner. Locations on your corner and in Lexington, the shops at Fayette Mall, and also at the Lexington Center. Go to KentuckyCornerOnline.com and you can shop Kentucky Corner right there where you are. Well, what is hot at the University of Kentucky is this rivalry against the Hoosiers is now officially back. You know, John Calipari warned us after that win over North Carolina that Kentucky would not go undefeated this season, and he says, hey, if I got to lose to somebody, mine will be my buddy in Bloomington.
I'm proud of my team. I mean, I'm proud of how they played, how they gutted it out in the second half, how they played to win. You know what? I hate to lose. But if I'm to lose, losing to Tommy's fine, because what he's done here in 4 years and having to do it the way he did it, where you're undermanned and now you're trying to fight and everybody, why aren't we winning I mean, and for him to have this happen, for he and his family, I'm happy for him. They deserve to win the game.
Remember all the talk Calipari, but nice scene right here, nice. The talk Calipari had about if we have to give up one of our rivalries, which one should it be? You ain't giving up this one now. Look at that scene in Bloomington. You are stuck facing Indiana home and away for as long as you live on this planet, and you're not going to lose any of those other rivalries, I don't think, either. Actually, I'm going to take a lot of heat in the Cat's Paws this week because I don't think this is a bad thing. This win was more important to Indiana's program than it was to Kentucky's program. And to me, personally, college basketball is much better off when Indiana is relevant. Yep. When Indiana is good, that's good for college basketball. And they needed that win. Where that program's been the last few years since Kelvin Sampson, Mike Davis before that, that's just not where Indiana should be. This rivalry is back on big time.
And you're exactly right. When Kentucky and Louisville and Indiana are relevant, it takes some of the shine off the Tobacco Road Triangle. So go Hoosiers, Absolutely. Go Cats, and Cars. Well, what's hot at the University of Louisville is we found out the Cardinal offense is actually pretty good against the zone, as the Cards learned against Fairleigh Dickinson.
We attacked the zone for awesome shots. Very, very active and dribble penetrating, moving the basketball. And it was a good game in terms of that, and it got people some minutes that don't normally get minutes. But it was good for us to go against the zone.
I tell you what was good for Louisville is to go against an awful zone. Not just a zone in particular, a team that really runs it terribly. That's what got Louisville's offense off the schneid. And I think for Louisville it's a confidence builder, certainly. They got a lot of players in on this game, and nearly everybody hit shots. So it was a good feeling all around for Louisville.
All right, all together now, you two, who's not hot at the University of Kentucky? Terrence Jones. Was there any question? My gosh, this kid is a preseason All-America, and it turns out it's more hype than heart as he no-shows the game against the Hoosiers.
Did it without Terrence Jones. He absolutely gave us a 0 today, and that happens at times. These guys are not machines, guys. They're not computers. They have bad games. You move on. Now he hopefully plays better from here on.
Everybody struggles a game or two. I haven't seen one player that play this game not struggle a game or two. So if you have a game of struggle, you bounce back. I know Terrence will because I know the type of person the player he is.
I'm not mad at him. I mean, the kid had a bad game. You have bad games.
Now, let's not push the panic button yet. Let's ride it out, because we saw some of these no-shows last year from Terrence Jones, the immature freshman who tended to pout midway through the season. So there were some games. We thought we were beyond that with the way he transformed his body, the way he was playing early, but he just did not have it yesterday for whatever reason. Was a complete no-show. Don't let it happen again. You know, you forgive the one, You just don't want to see it become a pattern. You want to see him turn back to the force that he was earlier in the year in the force. Actually, they have to have him to be if they're going to go as far as they think they are. So let's keep an eye on this one.
Daryl, how in the world can you walk into that environment and not just want to kill somebody and play the best game of your life? I don't get that.
I wish I could answer that question. The only thing I can come up with is the fact that he's a Portland kid, and he doesn't get UK IU because IU's been down. And a lot of these kids don't get the UK U of L. They hear about it from the fans, but they're not from here. That they're AAU guys. They know the other guys on the other side from AAU. They're buddies kind of, and they don't get the rivalry. He found out the hard way yesterday.
What's not hot for the University of Louisville is Rakeem Buckles. Now get this kid misses almost a year of basketball. He comes back, and then he doesn't play at all against Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, I wanted to get Swap more minutes back and rest his leg a little bit. Anytime we can, we're going to rest him a little bit because he's still coming off that injury.
He did come back from the injury a little faster than I think normal. So what they're trying to do is kind of bring him along slowly, I guess. It seemed to me that, if you can even give him 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it would probably be to his benefit in terms of kind of rounding back into basketball shape. But maybe it's one of those things where he woke up that morning and he was sore and he just didn't want to go. But I was kind of a little surprised to see him not play.
Well, what scares me about that is there a possibility he's not either healed or, God forbid, re-injury, because the way things have gone with Louisville this year with injuries, who's to know? Well, the buzz, of course, not only is Kentucky losing, but how they lost. In fact, Cal said, that last-second shot, literally the last-second shot that doomed Kentucky's perfect season, should not have even happened.
We still had a chance to win, and we, again, an inexperienced team. We walk out of that last timeout. You got to understand the whole timeout was we're fouling. We got 2 fouls to give, 2. We're fouling once, and if they throw it near half court, just make sure they're not in a shooting motion. We're going to foul again. The officials knew we were fouling. They said just make sure they're not in the motion of fouling. So I have no idea what went through our mind. Maybe they thought I'm not fouling. The time's going to run out. I don't know. But that's an inexperienced. It was amazing. We executed everything to a T until that last 5 seconds where they didn't foul, and I don't know what happened.
The problem is Indiana gets in the way. Right here, actually, it's already happened. We missed the play, but Marcus Teague was going to foul at half court. He got picked, and once he got picked, he couldn't foul, and everyone else had brain lock, and they did not move out. And by the time they tried to recover it, too late. Game over, and there was no doubt. Any doubt in anybody's mind that shot was going in. There was no question.
A couple things about strategy there. I understand you want to foul. Why not guard the inbounds pass? I don't get that. And if you're going to give up a shot, give up a layup. You cannot give up a wide-open 3. And there wasn't even a Kentucky guy in that shot.
No. Once the screen was set and Teague was taken out of the play completely, it got scrambled on who had who, and Darius he had to pick up his guy going inside because Teague was knocked down, and nobody went out and covered for the shooter. You learn those lessons the hard way. Better to learn it now than in April or late March, that's for sure.
Well, the buzz at the University of Louisville, of course, everybody's been on Charlie Strong watch here ever since the football season ended. There was some real concern about perhaps Texas A&M luring him to the Southeastern Conference. Let me read to you this quote from Charlie when he talks about that. He says that I work for an unbelievable athletic director. I work for a guy who has given me everything I've asked for. You have so much support from the university, the city of Louisville. Now all of a sudden a guy who couldn't get a job has a job. He has a little bit of success. Why would you think he's going to chop that up now and go on and leave? At some point, just trust me, I'm not looking for a job. I have a job. I am the head coach of the University of Louisville. From which fans go, whew.
Wow, what a statement. I mean, I tell you what, we like to have sound bites on the show, but when a guy makes a statement like that, you got to put it out there. I mean, that is not just, I'm happy where I am right now, which is Bobby Petrino speak. He'd always, throw in a right now, or I'm happy where I am. Well, of course you're happy, but you'd be happier with $3 extra million.
Sure.
This was Charlie Strong coming out and removing all doubt. He says, I'm not looking for a job. I've got a job. I'm happy where I am. Don't believe everything you hear. At some point, Louisville's got to figure out that they're not a training ground for coaches. That's actually what he said. I mean, it was as strong of a statement, no pun intended, strong of a statement as I've ever heard from a Louisville head coach.
Glad to see it, but I'll still warn Louisville fans if a big SEC job comes open, especially Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. Keep your eyes open.
This is a big SEC job.
I'm just saying. Well, now, I don't know what was even offered it.
Well, that's a question.
Because here's the thing.
That's a question.
If that's really how he feels, why wasn't this statement made 2 weeks ago?
Well, and that's really where the folks were getting on our message board saying, Howie, why did you fuel speculation or whatever by saying that you're worried about this thing? Well, I was worried because it took 5 days.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Everybody was just waiting
Yeah.
and waiting and waiting, and the longer it went on, the more you started to worry.
Yeah. Hey, we've got something that these two guys have agreed to take part of that we want you to get involved too, and you can in a couple different ways. We're calling it the Red and Blue Polar Plunge. Now, look at these two guys, Daryl and Howie, shivering by the Ohio River. They are going to take the plunge for Special Olympics in February, and we want to find out who you want to see get wet and cold more, Daryl or Howie. Go to SOKY.org. Click on the Red and Blue Polar Plunge Challenge and cast some dollars toward Daryl and Howie's cause here. It all goes to Special Olympics Kentucky. And if you want to see Daryl get drenched and freezing or Howie finally getting his, you can do it by going to the Polar Plunge, SOKY.org. And thanks, guys, for participating. And we'll be following this as we head toward February. When we come back, Louisville's getting ready to reconnect with Memphis. And we'll tell you about the tough homecoming for a Wildcat who's from Hoosier country, and as we head to the break, we're going to talk about Hoosier hysteria with DB.
Actual preview of the cover, Hoosier hysteria indeed with the big win. Deron Lamb was huge in this game, just couldn't quite help pull out the victory, so they ended up with a loss, and no big deal. We got all the information about it, recruiting and previewing the rest of the way, all the way through the end of the year with basketball season. 800-641-3302.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
I'm attorney Jay Winton, the Louisville Fighter. When you get hurt in a car wreck, you need someone to fight the insurance company for you. Call me. I'll come out swinging.
The Louisville Fighter fights for your medical bills, fights for your lost wages, and he fights to get you paid.
Look, you get hurt in a car wreck, you call the Louisville Fighter. He fights for everything that you deserve.
Call the Louisville Fighter. He comes out swinging.
Listen, if you've been hurt in a car wreck, let me fight for you. Call me. It's just that easy.
Call the Louisville Fighter. Call 1-888-FIGHT-16.
When you need a truck, Bachman Chevrolet is your truck headquarters. I'm Teresa Bachman. Even during our construction, we have more trucks than any other dealer. Silverado, Colorado, Tahoe, or Suburban, Bachman is your #1 Chevrolet truck dealer. Nobody beats Bachman's price or selection on any Chevrolet, including Traverse and Equinox. Chevrolet has what you need, and Bachman Chevrolet has what you want. Bachman makes the difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review. As we are talking basketball, we are not going to talk about Indiana Jones in this segment because he didn't show up there anyway. But we do have some really cool things to talk about in our Game Time storylines.
To play on the road, you got to grind it out. Take what you can in transition. It's not there, now make them play in a half court. And then defensively, you got to come up with those balls, which we didn't, which gave them their chance to win.
One of our Game Time storyline topics today has to do with Marcus Teague, who grew up right there, not too far from Bloomington, in Indianapolis, and his return to his home state did not go well, at least until the second half.
I told him, you got to let me coach you. You can't do what you think you want to do out there. You got to let me coach you. You got to play the way I'm telling you to play. How did he look in the second half? He looked like one of the best point guards in the country. How did he look in the first half? Oh my God, you can't play this kid. Now, how can you be that same guy? Well, one's playing the way you want to play, the other's playing the way I'm trying to tell you to play. And it's all, you know, did you expect anything different? He's coming to Indiana, he's coming home, he's got family. I told him at halftime, I expected this. But what I do expect is that I can coach you. And if I don't feel I'm going to be able to coach you, then you're not going to be on that court. And he responded. He did good. He did fine.
Calipari's going to have a doctorate in psychology by the time this year's over. Where I've been watching Marcus Teague.
Or need a doctor in psychology.
Yeah, I've been watching Marcus Teague the entire season, and his body language, he does not hide anything on the court. Yesterday, Cal yanked him out a couple of times. I had a very close proximity to the UK bench where I was taking photos, and he just did not want to hear Cal lighting in him and lighting him up. He would argue a little bit, then he would just lean way back in his seat. So he's young, he's 18 years old, he's immature, he's the first coach he's ever had in his life that said, no, you're not perfect, this is why. You're going to do it my way, and it's just going to take a while. It's going to take a little longer, I think, than what we saw with John Wall and even with Brandon Knight. They're different. I got a feeling every point guard has their own different personality, and Cal's just going to have to figure out what button to push with this kid.
Now, Darryl, in the first half, basically all he did was give turnovers to Kentucky or for Kentucky. Did Indiana do anything differently? Because he was driving the ball almost at will in the second half.
No, that's what he wasn't doing. In the second half, he started doing what Cal said, which is, how about you play a little dribble drive? Look at the guy across from you and say, you can't stop me, and go. And that's what he did. Instead of trying to do the other things he was doing, just take the ball and beat your opponent.
Kentucky's big rivalry game last weekend, one of Louisville's big rivalry games coming up this weekend against Memphis, and Pitino's warning his players if they don't get sharper between now and Memphis, that will be the first team to beat this team.
Yeah, they're as athletic as any team in the country. They're a very, very talented offensive basketball team, very good off the bounce. And if we don't guard better off the bounce, they'll blow us out. I mean, we've got to play better defense.
Louisville does have to play better defense, and Memphis is very talented. However, a quick glance at the stats notes that Memphis gives up 72 points a game. Louisville gives up 50. There's a big difference in the level of defense these two teams play. My guess is that Memphis is going to want to run up and down the court, run up and down the court. Louisville's got to try to not let them. But this is a big rivalry game. I mean, this is the rivalry that has spawned some legendary stories. The Fred Horton thing with the swinging the chair around his head, the open switchblades thrown onto the court. I mean, this has been, you know, Kentucky-Indiana rivalry is heated. Louisville-Memphis rivalry is like criminal heated. I mean, it gets nasty.
It's almost Cincinnati Xavier.
It's almost Cincinnati Xavier. It gets really nasty.
Tell us about the Memphis team. I don't know much about them. Haven't paid a lot of attention to them. Are they very good this year? What's
They're a top 25 team. They're probably top 20 team. They've got a lot of talent. I think the question is, how well are they coached? They're very well recruited.
Oh, no
you know,
question,
Cal's former recruiters down there, but how well are they coached?
You know, the toughest kid on the court in Indianapolis Indiana, over the weekend was MKG, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. When the Cats needed a tough basket, that kid delivered.
I thought Michael Gilchrist was just a beast. And he showed, if I watched this game, I would say he's their best player. He's the guy. And he did it today because he fought. Other guys did not fight for balls. Did not fight for balls. He did. He fought for every rebound.
I got a feeling that if UK doesn't improve as fast as Calipari wants them to, especially when you get in the semester break where you can do a whole lot of work, if they don't get to where they want to be and Gilchrist gets a little more comfortable being a leader and being a part of this team, he's going to let them know about it, and he'll drag them along with him about force if he has to. He's going to be that type of personality. He's not going to put up with Terrence Jones not showing up very many more games, that's for sure.
Darryl, what makes that kid go? What is his
Have you seen his life story?
Well, no, tell me about it.
With his dad being shot and killed when he was a teenager, and just all that upbringing and growing up where he did in Camden, New Jersey, which was at that time was one of the most dangerous places in America for the crime rate and the murder rate, and he's had a very tough life. And then the day he's going to sign with Kentucky, his national letter of intent, his uncle, who kind of took over after his dad died, has a heart attack, and Michael's the one trying to do CPR for 20 minutes, and unsuccessfully he was already gone. That kind of a background, that drives him big time. It's like, I'm driving to do something with my life, and I'm driven by my dad's memory and how much he means to me and how much I want to do. So yeah, there's a lot behind that kid.
Boy, he's fun to watch.
Yes, he is.
One of the Game Time storylines that will be developing through this basketball season is we wonder what's going on with Gorky Jang. I remember early in one of those preseason games, he had like 20 or 25 fouls. They just weren't calling him off. I mean, the guy was destroying folks. And Rick says one of the reasons why Jang has so many fouls is because the guards are not defending the perimeter like they are, so Gorky's got to clean up what they're not taking care of.
I think Gorky's playing very good basketball, playing well. I think our guards are hurting Gorky because they keep getting beat and he keeps having to rotate. And if your guards keep getting beat, he's going to get in foul trouble. Now you're playing a team like Memphis that all they do is drive, and they're very athletic. So our guards are really hurting us because they're constantly getting beat.
A team like Memphis that loves to run the dribble drive. What other team loves to run the dribble drive? This is
Can we get back to you on that?
Yeah. Okay. This is the second time in 2 weeks that Rick Pitino has noted that his front guards, they are not great at stopping dribble drive, and it's causing Gorky Jang and the big men to pick up extra fouls. Now, I don't expect him to say those same things during the Kentucky week, because you're not going to admit it a weakness during that week.
Yeah.
But this is a clue. This is a clue that's going to be a problem for Louisville. They've got to get that solved before they meet Kentucky.
We come back, we'll tell you why losing to Indiana may be just the thing this Wildcat team needs, and you'll hear about the college basketball player that heard the words every college basketball player wants to hear. Right now, we want to hear from Howie.
You got it. And the best way to get all your Louisville news is the Louisville Sports Report. We can deliver it right to your door. It's an easy way to do that. For first-time subscribers, we've got a great deal. $30 gets you the Louisville Sports Report delivered to your home all the way through the rest of basketball season. From December all the way to June, give us a call at 502-636-4330. That's 502-636-4330.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner Online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, The Falls Golf Resort, The Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
Dale says one of the big difference makers for the University of Kentucky this season could well be that loss to Indiana, because even though it will knock Kentucky out of the #1 spot now, it may actually help them reclaim that #1 spot in April.
No, we went down 10, and I called a timeout, and I said, this is the greatest thing for us because we're going to find out who we are now. This is what we need. This is a learning experience. Let's find out. And then I had to go small. Terrence had to go on the bench for us to make a run. I mean, that's what we had to do. And we found out that these guys in this kind of environment can do this.
This being our first away game, we fought back. We was down. We shouldn't have let ourselves get down like that. But we got to learn from this. Like you said, we got to play a whole 40-minute game. We can't come out and play 20 minutes and expect to win that way. It's not going to happen, especially with the competition that we play.
I think the best thing that happened for Kentucky basketball was losing at Indiana, because they didn't play well enough to win that game. Indiana deserved it. There's no question about it. They almost pulled it out at the end. Had they won that game, they stay #1, they stay undefeated. And how many of those young kids on that team said, we're pretty good after all. We went into Bloomington and won, when actually you didn't deserve that game. You did a lot of things wrong. You should not have won that game. Now maybe Cal has their attention a little more. It's like, you're not undefeated. You're not perfect anymore. You're not as good as you think you are. How about we go learn something?
Howie says the difference maker at the University of Louisville should be Kyle Couric, especially now that Rick Pitino has told him to do what every college player dreams of his coach ordering him to do.
I told him before the game, in the speech before the game, I said, I want a T-Will. I'm tired of you not having an assist. I'm tired of you not having an offensive rebound. I want a T-Will type box score. I said, I want offensive rebounds. He's still not shooting the ball enough. He's got shots and he's not taking them, and he's got to shoot the ball more.
I speak for everyone on this panel. If our coaches had told us at any point in our career to shoot the ball more, we would have definitely done it.
Absolutely.
I was a gunner from word go. And, from Kyle Couric's standpoint, he has he shoots really, really well. He really should shoot the ball more. He had 14 shots. Go for 20. Why not?
I tell you how close this was to being one of the greatest regular seasons in Kentucky basketball history. They could have beaten North Carolina, Louisville, Duke, and Indiana in the same week if the men had taken care of business there. See you next time on Red and Blue.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf